Alright everybody, hello and welcome to this week's edition of Pedaling Downhill. Yeah, we've been gone for a while, but we've been working on this. We're down here in my basement bike shop. That's right, my basement bike shop. I know the last time I said I had a basement bike shop and I showed you guys, it looked a little bit different. This was here, but it wasn't in here, nor was all the rest of this. So, we've upgraded. We've moved into a space with actual walls. We've moved into a space that has better lighting. It may not be perfect for the camera, but it's gonna be really good for working on bikes. It's not a studio, it's a shop. I wanted to bring you guys into my space that I've created for myself down here to work on my bikes and my friends' bikes and whatever else comes up during the season. So here you can see my Norco Sight in the stand. That's gonna be the focus of today's episode. We're gonna go through the bike, give it a quick once-over, just kind of look at all the scratches and dings that it's accumulated in its one season of use with me. I had a blast with this bike. I didn't have any intentions of picking up a new bike this season. Things just kind of worked out behind the scenes, and I ended up with this really amazing ride for this year. So let's go in, let's check it out, let's see what's dirty, let's see what's scratched up, let's see what survived all the things that you saw us do this past season together. And you know, I won't make you guys live through the entire cleaning, we'll speed it up here and there. But let's get in there real quick and see how the bike actually looks before we clean anything up and just see how it did throughout the season. So as far as the tires are concerned, I really did enjoy the Maxxis Dissector and Assegai combination that I was running this year. I would definitely get those tires again. However, I will say the one thing for Maxxis tires is they do wear really quickly. And the outside knobs show quite a lot of wear. They all want to just kind of peel away at this point. The tire still has some life in it, obviously, but the knobs themselves just don't really like the pressure I was running this year. Alright, now to make the rear triangle area and the derailleurs and stuff like that a little bit easier to handle, I'm just going to go ahead and take the rear wheel off. 6mm hex, off we go. Alright, rear wheel is off. Alright, so here's the Norco all tidied up. For the most part, we haven't taken the drivetrain apart, so that's still pretty dirty inside the jockey wheels, but we're going to dismantle all of that and take all of that stuff off and actually clean it. But we got up into all of the different nooks and crannies and the rear triangle. The seat's nice and clean. A little scuff mark there, but that fared pretty well. So the only real kind of cosmetic damage, I guess you could say, the bike went through this year was a little bit of scratches and scuffs here on the rear triangle. A little bit here from where a stick got wedged in there, and I just kind of kept pedaling because, again, it's a bike. I don't really care if it's perfect. It doesn't have to be. A little bit of scuffs there. Derailleur's taking a little bit of damage here and there as far as scuffs and stuff in the paint. A couple of scrapes and scuffs up here on the handlebars. But again, nothing mechanically damaged. And I put about 600 to 700 miles on this bike this year. Scrapes and scuffs here from, you know, just being dumb, trying things. Scrapes and scuffs on my brake levers. Fork stanchions are both very clean. No issues whatsoever there. Seals are all looking really good. Not seeping at all. And everything in general on this bike is just doing really good. So we're just going to go through and we're going to clean it up and whatnot, and we're going to make some cosmetic changes to it in the off season here, but for the most part this bike is ready to roll for next year. As I alluded to before, I've got some Jaguar hoses here and some shift cables as well. I'm going to go ahead and put all of that stuff on the bike, get rid of all of these, change some colors there so it can match the channel because matchy is cool. And we're also going to replace this headset, or this stem in the headset, with a Deity as well that's anodized red, so that's going to look really nice. So as soon as all the rest of that stuff gets in, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of creating those brake lines, and running everything through the bike, because this one is internally routed, so that's going to make it a little bit interesting as well. And then we're going to go through and we're going to clean the drivetrain, clean up and maybe repin some of the pins in the pedals, and we're going to take care of our derailleur here because, well, the derailleur takes care of us, so we should take care of it, and it needs some help. So aside from that and a full brake bleed on this bike, that's about all we got left. Thanks for joining me on Pedaling Downhill this week, where we just hung out in the cycled under the stair shop, and well, we looked at my bike and saw that it survived a year with me, and it did really, really well, and I enjoyed every second with it. So I'm going to enjoy every second in this off season, taking it apart the rest of the way, cleaning it up, and just servicing little bits and bobs here so it's perfectly ready for next season. Peace out, everybody. Scrapes and scuffs on my brake levers, but the brakes again are performing perfectly. I just totally pulled the brake lever, and I shouldn't have because I don't have the tire in there, so now I'm going to have to go through and push the pistons back in because I'm a dummy. So you all got to see that happen. That totally just happened. Nonetheless,